Guitar Show, Old Faithful, with your host, Matt Trask. My thanks to Haggerty's Music Works here on the hill. Look for the big red Stratocaster on the roof of the building on Main Street here in Rapid City. My thanks, as always, to the incomparable Johnny Hastings. Please support my friends at Black Hills Blend. Still no coffee on the show. It's going to be a good show, among other things, wearing my favorite King Ropes cap and a Wrangler chambray shirt. A word about that, just if I may, take up your time. Thank you. It may, throughout the summer, look like I'm wearing the same shirt over and over again, and that may be the case, but I do have 7 of these because I'm a freak. So odds are I change my shirt. Just, I'm a collector. It's a bad habit. I'm so excited about this guy, as I am every week. He's a little bit rock and roll. I'm a little bit country. He's a little bit shreddy, actually. But we managed to be friends. Yeah. Jacob Markon.
Hey, thanks.
Did I say your last name right?
You did. Just think Karate Kid. Markon.
For the time being, viewers, disregard the fact that you see his last name on the amplifier.
Yeah, I'm not egotistical. I actually built this myself. Yeah.
We will get to that. Tell us a little about you.
A little about me. Well, I grew up with a heck of a guitar player for a dad.
Okay.
He grew up in the 80s, so that was his huge influence, right? The whole hair metal scene. Mm-hmm. It was Jakey Lee, it was George Lynch, it was Van Halen, it was DeMartini, it was all those guys, right? So I grew up in a household where that was pretty much the only music I knew about. And I didn't really know that any other music existed beyond that.
Oh.
So, I mean, what better household to grow up in with a guitar-playing dad who plays the best guitar-oriented music in the world, just all the time, every night. So when about 12 years old, I got really inspired to be like, that's cool. It'd be fun to be a rock star, playing Van Halen, Dokken, all those tunes. And I just started picking up the guitar, and it helps to have an insanely talented guitar player as your teacher.
Sure.
So I would just every night playing my guitar and ask my dad, what's a hammer on? He'd show me a hammer on. Like, what's bowl off? And then he'd start teaching me the scales, theory, and it just becoming, an obsession.
Sure.
And I'm homeschooled, as I was homeschooled, so don't hold that against me.
I was homeschooled for 2.5 years, actually.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, which means, I could just wake up every day, get my school and chores done as quick as possible, and play guitar for 8 hours.
Sure.
And that's what I did. I had no social life, but who needs that when you got a guitar?
You're about to see that it paid off. A word here about your father being your guitar teacher. It sounds like you and your father have a very interesting relationship where you actually were not turned off by him teaching. I know I tried to teach my daughter guitar. It ended in a fight every night. I had to quit. Some people just can't do that, but you and your dad got along just fine.
We get along perfect. We're guitar buddies. This amp building project we did together, it actually started as a homeschool electronics course project.
Oh, wow!
Right. So, I mean, every night we're still just talking about guitar equipment, playing guitar, and just hanging out.
Huh. So are either of you in bands?
Neither one of us.
Okay. Were you ever in a band?
Not really. We've played in churches around town.
Okay.
And that's been the majority of my experience, but never in band yet.
Do you get to pull out to try out your George Lynch licks at church?
Depends on how Pentecostal the church is.
Oh, really? Sometimes maybe you do. And
yes.
Dive bombing, a little tapping.
Yep. Last time I played, it was with Shannon Williams. She told me go crazy.
Well, Jesus did have long hair, now that I think about it. Or he did in the pictures, anyway.
Right.
Tell us about this guitar.
All right. So right here, I got a Lux Tone guitar. So for anyone who doesn't know what Lux Tone guitar is, it's owned by a guy named Jerry Bison.
Okay.
He lives out in California, and he actually had worked and sort of still works for Charvel Jackson as their artist guitar builder. So when they get someone like Jakey Lee coming to him or Guthrie Govan, he's the one building the guitars. And he just has a total passion for it. So he started his own little company out of his own little luthier shop he's got in there, and he hand builds these. It's just pretty much a one-man operation. It's him building these, and he's got a guy that comes in and paints, either full-time or part-time, depending on the demand he's got. what's super cool too is he also gets most of his hardware, like this hardtail bridge, brass knob. He gets that custom machined by a local company.
Oh, okay.
And then the pickups he gets hand wound by Arcane Inc., which is just a boutique pickup
Right.
company that's a couple hours away from his house. But everything besides that is done by him. All the woodworking, the neck carving. He does all the fret jobs himself. The relicking. I mean, it's insane. The attention to detail, and you really see it in the guitar. We have a bunch of people that just look at the frets and ask, are those stainless steel frets? Because they're so shiny and just
Right.
perfectly. But no, these are regular.
They're regular.
They are.
We should point out, correct me if I'm wrong, Haggerty's is now a Luxtone dealer.
We
is that
are a
correct?
Luxtone dealer, and part of that was because I selfishly wanted one and spent hours trying to convince Marcus to do so.
Uh-huh.
But it was kind of cool. 2019 NAMM, we went.
Okay.
And Jerry actually had a Luxtone guitar booth there. And that was the first time he had gone to NAMM himself as part of his Luxtone guitar company. So I got a chance to talk to him for a couple hours. He's the nicest guy in the world. He knows his stuff, and that tipped Marcus over, and he's like, okay, yeah, let's get
We're
on.
gonna do it.
Now they are highly in demand since it's a one-man
Sure.
operation right now. He's got a 6 to 7 month wait time on his builds. I had to wait about 8 months for this guy.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's super cool because he gives you a build sheet and you just pretty much spec it out.
Sure.
You tell him it's like, I want either Strat or Atelier, maybe like a Jazz Master style body shape. You get to decide what type of bridge, whether it's a standard hardtail, Floyd Rose, or a Strat trem, pickup configuration, how many volume or tone, whatever. So I sat down and like, what would be my ultimate, 6-string shred machine? This is what I came up with.
Sure. If that there. Are those brass parts or just plated to look like brass?
These are brass. This is
Okay.
a brass hardtail and a brass knob.
That is definitely a nod to his 80s rock heroes.
His
We went through the
Sarlo
brassification craze in the 80s. Everything was brass. So for the non-guitarist, you'll see this guitar. We keep saying it's a brand new guitar, and it looks terribly scratched up. It's a big deal right now to relic the guitars, to make them look like Chip Bradley's bass, actually. And boy, you look cool. And they hook the body to a team horse and they drag it down a gravel road to make it look like it's been played for several years. And from that episode with Chip Bradley's bass, we learned that Leo Fender hated to waste anything, including time. And so if they screwed up a paint job on a body, they would often just paint over it. They wouldn't remove the
Right.
paint. But also, over the course of a vintage guitar's lifetime, say a Stratocaster or a Telecaster, the owner may wish to repaint it.
Right.
And so that's how you have this, what we would call shell pink over sunburst. Is that correct?
Exactly. You nailed it.
All right. And we got some buckle rash.
Of course, I mean, I'm not like you. I'm not a cool cowboy that wears,
Right.
big buckles, so I have to fake it.
Maybe we can make up a story it was played in its former life by a cowboy.
Yeah, except, I don't know, country and shred.
Well, Eldon Chamblin,
Okay.
it's all right. Yeah, there were a lot of Strat guys in the 80s playing country,
Yes.
too. So you went with one knob on the guitar,
I
super
did.
simple.
As I like to joke, tone is in the fingers, so I got 10 tone knobs.
Okay.
That's just my dork response.
Sure.
Otherwise, I just never really used the tone knob.
Right.
I mean, I play mostly metal, which is kind of a brighter, more abrasive sound
Sure.
anyway. So if I'm going to roll it off, I'm going to roll it off at the amp
Okay.
with my pedals with my overdrive.
I must confess, the tone knobs on a Strat, I have trouble remembering what they do. I really do.
Right.
But anyway, and we have a humbucker pickup in the bridge position, and I'm guessing there is no coil tap on this guitar.
There is no coil tap.
Okay.
This is the Arcane Inc. They call it the Luxbucker Old School.
Okay.
So it's like a 9.5K Alnico 5 pickup. So meant to mimic an old PAF style pickup,
Okay,
as
sure.
so many pickups are, right?
Right,
As Eddie Van Halen just sticking a PAF in his Strat.
right.
Spawned the Super Strat. That's what we're going for here. And he's got his the single coils are what Arcane call the hippie whips.
Okay.
They're just kind of meant to mimic a good jangly 60s.
68, 69 looking pickup with staggered pole pieces.
Yep.
Again, we're going to nerd out here a little bit. He kept saying PAF, which is the highly sought after, coveted, and a huge guitar buzzword. The original Seth Lover designed humbucker pickups that were put in Gibson guitars had a sticker that said patent applied for. And those humbucking pickups with that sticker that says patent applied for are known as PAFs, and they're worth more than your car.
And what's funny about the PAFs, to nerd out a little bit, is that, as was so often back in the day with like Marshall, Gibson, anything, they were just throwing stuff together.
Sure.
Those PAFs, you cannot find two that are exactly the same.
Right.
They're wound anywhere from like 7 to 10K.
Right.
You have anywhere from an Alnico 2, Alnico 3, Alnico 4, Alnico 5 magnet. They were just grabbing magnets
Sure.
out of the bins. So it's really funny. If you get a true PAF pickup, you're going to pay, I haven't looked recently, but
Right.
it can go up to a couple thousand.
Right.
And it might not even be a good one.
Right. Well, back in the day, and I wasn't there, so I could be wrong, but they weren't really purchasing the components for a magic pickup. They were
Right.
just going off their shopping list. We need
Exactly.
magnets, we need wire, we need,
Yep. So they bought it and threw
Right.
it away.
Turn this over one more time so we can get a good look at the back of that neck. Bird's eye maple, that is just gorgeous.
Yes.
Is that an unfinished neck?
He has a slight oil finish
Okay.
on it. It basically feels unfinished, but
Okay.
I asked him about it. He said it's his own proprietary blend he uses. And it's super smooth, you can feel it. And he's got a couple different colors. This is the aged gray, which makes it look a little bit more worn. And then he's also got like the aged amber, which is a little bit, of course, more yellowish.
Long as we got it turned over, we have vintage tuners, which is
Yeah.
kind of a surprise, actually.
It is, but when I was specking out this guitar, I'm just like, what would look cool? And I'm like, well, Tone Pro Occlusions would look cooler than something like Godot.
Sure.
I am super happy with these tuners, and to be all Eric Johnson-esque, saying that battery can change your tone, I really think these change your tone as well. I think there's a certain open quality to the sound
Okay.
of them versus like I can't verify that, so
Sure.
don't quote me, but
I am loving this episode. We got so many buzzwords going, and Eric Johnson-esque, I love that. But we have so much to talk about. We need to keep going.